This video is about use cases. A use case is a description of how a person who actually uses a process or a system will fulfill their goal. It's usually associated with software systems but can also be used in any process. For example, imagine you're a chef who wants to prepare a salad. The use case would describe a series of written steps how a chef would go about into preparing the salad. A use case helps you understand where errors occur in the process and design features to resolve these errors. There are usually three elements in a use case: an actor, the system, and the goal. An actor is a user. It's a person or a group of people that interacts with the process. The system is the actual process that is required into fulfilling the goal, and the goal is the successful user outcome. There are some additional elements. These are the stakeholders, people or groups of people or organizations that have an interest in the business or in the system, preconditions, things that must be true in order for a use case to start working, and the trigger, which are events that occur for a use case to begin running. What is a use case diagram? Is a collection of use cases. Is a kind of UML diagram created for requirements elicitation. It provides a graphical overview of goals, users, and outcomes. Use cases in a use case diagram can be arranged based on the level of abstraction, relevance to the users, and their impacts to the users. They can be connected to show dependency, inclusion, and exclusion relationships, and the main purpose of modeling use cases in a use case diagram is to establish a solid foundation of the system by identifying what the users want. Typical names in a use case begin with a strong verb: check balances, withdraw cash. Please avoid abstract verbs like process, performing, doing. This can cause very much of a confusion between yourself as a software developer and the stakeholder or your client. It is very easy to withdraw cash. It is weird to perform a transaction to withdraw cash. So use the terminology of the business, and if you put the use cases one after the other, you can imply time. Now, the use case diagram does not showcase time. However, usually a customer check balances and then withdraw funds or deposit funds or transfer funds. So there is time implication. Another way to imply time is actually to have it as an actor. Now, mind you, this is very specific into functions to generate a reminder, into functions that time is the trigger. Here, I on purpose put make an appointment before the setup the patient, and for me that actually annoys me when I see this use case diagram. Two very simple examples. A use case diagram represents a section of the system, not the entire system. You don't represent the entire business. You represent a section of the business. You represent the system that you want to get requirements for, to build one. So you typically go there and showcase, create use cases as to how the people are doing the things that they are doing. People meaning actors, meaning people working in the business, or customers or stakeholders. So on the left side, the diagram on your left, the librarian does all these functions. These functions into the system are talking with a database RFID reader. So this is the connection that I want to showcase there. The RFID reader with a librarian, and what functions these two can relate to. On the other hand, on your right side, you have the members of staffs and the librarians that they can and the functions that they can do physically towards the library system without you caring much about where the search for the book would go and if there is a database or not, because this is the high level that you want to identify or you want to showcase. The left side is much more focused on the system. Finally, some things to remember: the use case's purpose is to produce something of a value to the actors. You start and you create individual use cases and then you create relationships and interactions. A use case diagram is a very easy thing to understand and is usually used between clients, and it's known for improving communication.